Somebody put some awesome background music to this.
I know, I need to. We don't have any awesome background music yet.
Yeah, there's a video of this shot online where somebody put some. It was pretty neat. It's like this symphony deal.
Of just the fish tank?
Yeah, just the fish tank. Yeah.
Our 9 viewers are probably wondering why we're starting with the fish tank.
Yeah.
I guess we should start the show. For all nine of our viewers, let's do this. All right, guys. Hello. We are live from San Francisco this week. I have with me Adam from our development team. Say hi, Adam.
Hey, everybody.
Let's tweak this back like that. Look at that. Oh, look, we already have Richard Jones in the chat today. I thought you were supposed to be busy on tour, Richard. What are you doing in the chat today? So everybody say hi to Adam. Adam just said hi. Adam is one of our developers. Adam works on a lot of the crucial functions of the app, like making sure purchase orders get from the purchase flow to the warehouse, and making sure that emails get sent to customers. And Adam is going to be is here to talk about the revisions that he and I have been working on a lot with our email send capabilities and fan targeting and smart groups creation and revision, which we'll get to in a second. But one of the things we wanted to do with the show this week, aside from taking questions, anytime you have questions, please put them in the chat. We're doing the show solo today without Ian or Jason, so I'm trying to both answer things in the chat and put up web pages for us to look at and run the show. So it's going to be forgive me if this show kind of sucks technically. But as always, put your questions in the chat. We'll answer questions directly. But I want to start this week's show with a big roadmap update. We haven't sort of formally used this show to talk about new features that are coming from Topspin, but I think that we should. And I'm going to run down sort of a list of features that you're going to see from us in the next couple of weeks. Things that are going into QA now, things that are being designed, things that we're working on all the time that we want to bring you to make the app better. So let's start with the thing that you'll see probably the quickest, which is the new Facebook store. I know there's been a bunch of questions in the forums and via email about new Facebook store. We also have an interesting deal to announce on the Facebook integration side of things. I'll tease you with that. But we hired a new developer, Marshall, who's actually a friend of yours, right?
Yeah. I worked with him a couple years ago. He's a really great guy, strong developer. I'm so excited to have him here.
Like how did because we hired him as a contractor to work on this new Facebook store, which everybody out there is going to be stoked about. But how did you meet him? You were coworkers? Is that how you met him?
Yeah, so we were working together for a couple of years. We were building security tools. And he hit me up one day saying he wanted to do some contracting work, and I told Chris, I'm like, dude, we got to get this guy in here. We have to woo him. And he worked with us on this Facebook integration. Loved the team, loved the technology, and came aboard. We're stoked to have him. It's just, I'm thrilled. It's awesome.
It is pretty rad.
Yeah.
I'm particularly stoked because as an enormous nerdy fan of early '80s post-punk, British post-punk, to have another person in here who obsesses about New Order records and Joy Division records is Marshall is our people. Yeah. So let's talk about his feature for a second. The new Facebook store. I don't know if everybody in the chat or watching now is familiar with the old Facebook store. The new Facebook store functions quite a bit differently. The old one requires had like a welcome tab and a store grid that was based on just sort of all of your API opted in offers. So if you went into the sell tab and you published a bunch of offers and you clicked turn API access on, those offers appeared in your Facebook store. And there wasn't really a lot of positioning or changing that you could do of how those things were presented. There wasn't a lot of ordering of those offers. And there was a sort of well-intentioned but not as great as it should have been welcome tab to that store where people would put E4M widgets and that sort of thing, but for the most part it kind of buried the store offers. So all of that goes away. We started from scratch conceptually with what the app should do. And the new app is tied to the output of your existing Topspin sort of spin shop store. So if you go into the app, you'll go to sell, edit my store. You'll configure the store however you like, using tabs for categories, using featured offers at the top, tagging all of your buy buttons with different, apparel, kids, women's, album campaign names, however you want to organize it with the tags. And then one of the last steps of the store builder configuration will be install this store on Facebook. You'll click install this store on Facebook. It'll take you off to the Facebook app gallery where you will install the Topspin Facebook Store app, which will be a brand new app from the one that you have installed currently. So your old one will go away, and you will install the new Facebook Store app, put in your API key, and hit save, and you'll have the exact same store output that you have on your Spin Shop store on Facebook. So add to store will allow you to instantly sort of publish offers into both your Spin Shop hosted page and onto your Facebook store in one shot. Clicking the add to store button off, checkbox off in your distribution offers, distribution off options on your offer. That's a tough sentence to say. Will remove those offers from Facebook. Tagging them differently or changing the tags for those offers will reorganize which categories those offers appear in your stores. So what we've given you actually is a new endpoint on Facebook to put offers into that mimics and allows you to control all those offers from one place. I just talked to Marshall before we came in. He's stoked about it. He's getting all of his official Topspin dev environment, Topspin laptop and stuff set up, and then he's checking that feature into QA today. So you guys will see that, might see that store as early as next week, but for sure by the following week after. So that's a good Facebook store update. The next big update will be on the streaming players. I know there's been a lot of questions about customization of the streaming players, about putting, the old streaming players. You put a whole album in there. You can customize colors and highlight fields and button text. The new one is an iframe-based HTML5 streaming player. Has a call to action across the bottom now. After much design work and revisions over the last 3 or 4 days, our other new developer, who isn't here yet, but I know Ian and I mentioned on a webcast past, a guy named Greg Ip, moving from Toronto. He and I sorted out yesterday that a new design for that widget. So the call to action button that hangs from the bottom of the widget is going to go away, and you're going to see all of the call to action, sharing buttons, privacy buttons, all the different options of actions you can take inside of that widget occurring inside of the player interface itself. So you'll have a quick call to action and a play button. When you mouse over, you'll get some more sharing options. But the whole thing will be by default, a nice black theme, real simple neutral color scheme. You'll be able to control sort of colors of the elements in there, but a much more streamlined sort of white label style widget. It's going to look really great. And following that, so that's going to happen not this coming Monday, but a week from Monday. You'll have that UI change in the players, and then following that, we're actually going to go through a very big redesign of the way the Connect for Media widget works. I know I've mentioned previously on these chats that I personally don't think that widget's looks like it should, and it's going to look very different and be much more powerful. I don't have a final date for you, but Greg and I now have designs that actually really make it look pro grade and white label and make it be the powerful widget that we think it can be for folks. So big update on the players and that sort of stuff. Starting a week from Monday, and then you'll see incremental updates every Monday after that. And then a quick store builder update. The store builder UI is about to get 2 big changes. Luca, our developer, sitting just outside the glass door, is working on those. The big one being that the individual little offer squares that you see in the store and the store panes itself will very shortly be embeddable, which means you'll be able to take the code from the store and place it into pages. So you don't have to drive traffic to your spinshop.com page, but you'll be able to publish that store and then get either the store interface itself with the categories and the navigation and all the sub-contained offers, or so you'll be able to do both, or grab the embed code in a specific offer. So those little squares that you mouse over that show you all the details, those will have embed codes built inside too. So it's been a tricky piece of code to write. We were really wanted to have that embeddability in the store when we launched. March 15th when we sort of open the doors to the public. But testing that and making it work correctly and making it, really, really strong and trackable is something that we have had to spend a little extra time on. So next couple of weeks, you'll see embeddability there. I'll update everybody on next week's webcast, sort of on a date. Let me pause for a second and let me see who's in the chat here. We got a bunch of people popping up here. Wow, hi from Brazil. That's cool. That's cool to have look at that, Canada, Brazil. Check this out, Boz. We got people all over the world. Who is John Black? John, yeah, we're tweaking it up for you. We're gonna get you better looking widgets for sure. I'm trying to think. Are you asking? Oh yeah, you guys are asking when we're gonna have the store stuff. Couple of weeks on the store stuff. I'll update everybody next week for sure. Okay, so one last roadmap update, and then Boz and I are gonna talk about fans and emails. The last thing I think that everybody should know that's coming is a redesign to the purchase flow. That redesign is going to be stylistic, but it's going to take the UI and the styles and the typefaces and that sort of stuff that exist in the new Spin Shop stores and apply them to the checkout flow. It's also going to lighten that checkout flow a lot, so by default it will not be black. It's going to be a nice neutral color by default, and it'll still keep the ability to customize via CSS and that sort of stuff. I don't know if you guys saw what the Beastie Boys did yesterday with their pre-order. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it.
Custom purchase flow. Let me show everybody really quick. I'll just flip over one because I'm stoked. I figured out how to flip over to cool things in the webcast, but. Let me do that real quick. So here, everybody should check this out. Here's the new Beastie Boys album. You guys haven't watched this video yet?
I haven't seen this. Yeah.
So they've got Seth Rogen and Jack Black and Will Ferrell and Elijah Wood, and they basically have Time Machine, future and past Beastie Boy. It's worth watching. It's hilarious. It's really funny. So this is the pre-order of the album. They've got some pretty cool packages mixed in here, white vinyl, or maybe it's clear vinyl. No, it's white vinyl, T-shirt, the full HD film of this. You gotta watch it; it's hilarious. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, good Passion Pit remix of the first single in the deluxe edition. But what they did that I think is worth showing in the webcast, sort of for pro users, is they took the custom CSS of the purchase flow to sort of new heights here with the pink bar and the little Mike Mills bar. It's nothing. It's nothing, earth-shattering, right? But they've done a really good job of styling that purchase flow to look exactly like the page below it, which I think is pretty cool and worth showing.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'm showing that because the new purchase flow redesign will actually have a little more attractive purchase flow, and here, little color tweaks here and there, and that little border and that sort of stuff that you're seeing, stuff like the Beastie Boys do, will actually look even more attractive and more integrated to your pages. So we're looking forward to, on our side, I'm excited that I think that's going to actually raise conversion. I think we're actually going to see sales conversions go up for people because we've got a lighter, non-black, more attractive purchase flow, and it'll look really great coming off your Spin Shop page. So if you're looking at your Spin Shop page and wanting your purchase flow to match the offers and design below, it'll really look integrated. So that's coming soon. So before Boz and I get into this on the email and fans side of things, is there any specific questions that you guys have in the chat? The rule here is if you guys have questions or specifics about the app, we'll answer them and then we'll go through our agenda. Look, there's some popping up. Let's look. What about a widget that allows the person to choose Facebook like or email for media? So Brave Station, I think what you're talking about is the C4M widget. That's the Connect for Media widget. That functionality is in the app right now under Promote, New Offer, Connect for Media. It's not it's not as attractive as it should be, and it's not as easy to set up as it should be. But the core functionality is definitely there. That was what I was referring to earlier when we take the redesigns of those streaming players and apply them to that widget. We'll end up with a much better looking interface for you to put forth to your fans. But those functionalities are in the platform on the back end. You can use them today if you don't mind the way they look. We're about to make them look a lot better. Okay, what's the next question? Close to getting a deal on merch here in Brazil and wanted to use Topspin Soft? What is that? Oh, the software solution for that. Any chance on getting Brazilian currency to the billing process? Wow, that's a good question. We haven't had that request so far for Brazilian currency. I'll look into it. I mean, do me a favor and post that in the feature request section of the forums. If you guys are familiar with the forums here, I'll click over to them so you can see them. In fact, we've got a forum up here, a forum post up here for calling all email feature requests. Pop in there and see and put a thread in there saying, hey, look, let's talk about Brazilian currency. We obviously use a partner company for processing currency and payment transactions, and we have a process going right now to make it so that we're not incurring currency conversion costs when people sell in foreign currencies and have those monies deposited into their Topspin accounts before they're paid out by Topspin. So we'd like to get to a world where if you're transacting locally in pounds or euros or yen or whatever your chosen currency is, that we can pay you back out in that currency rather than convert everything to dollars and have there be a currency conversion charge applied to those accounts. So because our standards for how we treat those accounts is rising and we're trying to save artists as much money as possible, it might take us a minute to add on other currencies because we have to then go to those countries and open bank accounts to store those funds. So it's not quite as simple as just adding them and doing the conversions because we don't want you to lose money and currency conversion is expensive. But post it in the forums. I'll dig into it and I'll get a response back by next week's webcast. Okay, so a follow-up here real quick from Brave Station. Just wondering if you... lost it. Just wondering if you can include multiple options as opposed to just an email for media or just a like for media. I see what you're saying. The ability to say, give us your email and like us on Facebook and send this tweet and then here's the download. You can do... I see. Yeah, the choice in there, email or, is definitely actually in the existing widget. The UI is just so bad that it doesn't seem like it is. If you go in there on that Connect for Media widget and configure the email part at the top, and then configure the Facebook like below it, the fan will have the ability to click between those two icons and do one or the other. What we're going to do is make that UI better, so that's a little more intuitive for folks. Because to your point of asking the question, it's not as good as it should be. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's talk about email and fans. Number one most requested revisions and changes to the platform.
So I think overall, like the past year or so, we've been adding a lot of like kind of primitive tools, like the baseline what you need. You can target the purchasers of widgets, or you can target the people you imported. You can send emails, but all this stuff's kind of cumbersome to use. And so we're going back and really looking at like what people want to do with it and how to make the workflows easier. Biggest one I think is saving templates. If you spend the time on making a nice looking email, you want to be able to recall that email, change the text, and send it again. We want to make targeting easier. One of the things Bob brought up is if you want to target everybody that's downloaded from you, right now you have to include every single campaign, and that's just not acceptable. So we want to really fix how you target people. And then just bake into the app things that people generally want to do, like sending emails to people 7 days after they've downloaded or 7 days after they've purchased. So we're really like circling back on the fans section of the app and targeting those fans and paying attention to what people want to do there. And so I think that the basic tools are all there. It's just this time we're really focusing on like, okay, the basics are there. How do we make this less cumbersome to work with?
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, Adam and I have had some long conversations over the last 3 or 4 days about saying, look, one of the things that we really like about what the Topspin app allows people to do is it ties your email targeting and your direct communication via email to fans to the method of acquisition, right? They got this downloaded in exchange for email address. Okay, you know that, you know how you acquired them. We look up all that fan data on them in terms of influencer score and demographics and geo. And then it's also tied to your commerce package. So if you sell people things, their sales history is listed on those fan tables. And there's a really simple sort of and powerful integration of knowing how you acquired a fan and what content acquired them, and then knowing what they purchased from you, and then using that plus their geo or plus their influence score to communicate with them going forward. And it's been to date, a drag in our app to try to contact all non-purchasers or send thank you notes to all purchasers. It's possible. All that data is in there. You can access it. But what we are really focused on is giving you a really quick and simple interface that allows you to say, I would like to email everyone in Chicago who has purchased this product. That should be a couple of clicks, and then you should have a great details data page on the backside of that saying, okay, look, you emailed everybody who's in Chicago and who purchased the album. Great. You use this template. Why don't you send that email again and send it to a different group because it works really well? It should be just as easy as clone this email, choose a new target group, attach that new target group, and send. So we've got a bunch of ideas on our side and things that we're really excited about. They're going to make both the fans tab from a visualization and giving you reports and insight into who your audience is. So we've got some great ideas about that, and then we've got some great ideas about the way email will function too, including sort of what we're calling in this prototype, development stage. We're calling automated email or smart email, or we'll come up with something catchy for
triggered
it.
Email.
Triggered email. Yeah, we don't have a name for it yet. The idea being, hey, look, 24 hours after someone joins the list, send them this message. Anybody who purchases this product, for instance, a membership. So if someone joins a fan club or joins a membership program that you're running, wait 24 hours and then send them, a bonus download or, an explanation of their benefits. Or if you're selling tickets and someone purchases tickets, to have an automated function, to say, for everybody who purchased tickets to the show in Chicago, which is going to be Will Call, wait 24 hours and send them a very detailed and specific instructions on how they're going to get their tickets, where they can go to line up for Will Call. Here's some customer support links if they have any questions. Really nice, great follow-up so that you can really run a great business back and forth with your audience and not have to go in there every day and send that email to all the new purchasers, right? You should tell Topspin and say, please wait 24 hours after someone purchases these tickets, and every time someone purchases them, 24 hours later, they get their update.
Yeah.
So taking some of the marketing workflow and customer support workflow off of you and having software take over some of that functions to give fans a cool experience. So this is good. So that's sort of where we are with the feature and our efforts on it. I'm going to switch back over to this forums link because I really do want to encourage everybody who's in the chat here. I mean, I hope that it seems that you see evidence of it, but we really do mean it. Our users are our product design team in some ways. We really do listen to your feedback and listen to your requests. I mean, if you guys look at the forum thread around the WordPress plugin, you'll see guys from Uprising talking to users, talking to me, talking to Parker on our pro services team, really revising and tweaking that WordPress plugin to do what people need it to do. We'd like to get that same, Adam and I would kind of like to have that same kind of interaction going in this thread here on email. So we really are genuinely calling all email feature requests. We're not going to publish our spec here, for some sort of obvious competitive reasons. There's a couple things that we'd like to keep to ourselves and keep under our hats. There's a couple things that might change last minute, but what we'd really like to do is see your specs come in or your requests and say, and they don't have to be amazingly technical, but please, if you have ideas about things that would make your life easier with email or things that you like about FanBridge or MailChimp or Constant Contact or any other mail program that you might be using now, that's giving you that you're looking at and going, wow, Topspin doesn't have what I need this other program has. Please tell us. Now is the time. Adam and I are going to spend the next 4 or 5 weeks really refining and tweaking, and then we're going to spend 4 weeks building amazing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think we want to be very pragmatic with this. There are so many things you could do with respect to targeting and visualization of your network that we don't want to go down a rabbit hole of just doing data nerd type stuff. We want to do first what people like the low hanging fruit, the things people need to do. We want to make that easy for people. So anything that you could, even like listing your workflows that you do now, even if it hasn't like come up that it's really a hassle to do, we want to know what people are doing. I think, or I do at least.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. I mean, that's a great way to say it. Is the features will be better if people who are using the app come to us with, hey, I really need to email everybody who's a member who lives in Chicago. Okay, cool. That one's come up a lot. Okay, we can do that one. If you guys have other ideas about that, tell us, because
Yes, please do.
that gets us into the world of practical and out of the world of ideas, much quicker. How about questions? Anybody have specific questions? Issues, ideas that they want to put in the chat with regard to email? Oh, looks like everybody's stoked. They're happy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We're totally solved. Okay, well, cool. Well, unless some stuff pops up, I'm gonna let Adam get back to work. Adam is gonna go round up Bill Thompson and Carrie. Yeah, definitely.
Bye, you all.
And send them in here, and we'll introduce you to our new fan artist support folks. I don't have a good segue. What we should do, I should throw it to commercial right here. Like this used to be the place where I would throw, like, go back to the fish and just be like, okay, well, we back in a couple of minutes with our special guests. We're back on the fish. Oh no, the fish are no good.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bill. All right, that was good. You saved me from having to.
What do we do?
All right, so you guys should come over here. Actually, sit on this side.
It's like the guest seating.
It is the guest seat.
Step over you here.
Yeah, you're right. I should throw it to the roots. This is where the house band should have kicked in. So I'm responding to. We're gonna get cozy on the couch here.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We're all friends here.
Okay, so let me tell you guys what's going on here, because I'm not Johnny Carson. So here's what we have. So this is our couch. On this screen you see in the show. This is our chat right here. We got everybody that's on watching the show putting their questions in the chat, and then I'm sort of controlling and running the show from over here. So if you want to show something, that's a URL. I can put it up on here and put it in the show.
Cool.
So let's do introductions. Why don't?
Are we live?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're definitely live. This whole bumbling transition has been live. So let's introduce yourselves and give a little background sort of what you do at Topspin, and then we'll take some questions from folks online.
Okay, cool. I'm Bill Thompson. I pretty much run Topspin.
Bill's the boss. It's true.
No, actually not. I'm director of operations, which means I oversee everything that has to do with fulfillment, getting your stuff from point A to point B. I oversee all of customer support and fan support and artist support. Basically, try to keep things running smoothly.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I'm Carrie. I just started on Monday, and I'll be helping with artist support and answering questions. Hopefully, getting all the artists to use the application smoothly and have no problems.
All right. So the best part is these are your people, right? So our everybody in the chat have been for a long time sort of power users of the application. I recognize a handful of the names in the chat already. It's like we want to have a really great rapport with these folks. So
How many people on right now?
34.
34.
34.
Last week it was 28.
Well, see,
That's progress.
yeah, I'm better looking than Ian is, so more people would tune in because.
Well, I call you guys Bob and Doug.
Okay. Well, but I want to talk about, rather than make bad jokes. Let's talk about your background a little bit, because I think just from from nerd's perspective, coming to us from Industrial Light and Magic is going to prompt some questions. Tell us about. No, but I mean it's cool. Like
Well, I've done support for a long time, for like 12 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to be back doing it for music as well. I used to work at Live 105 for a long time doing promotion. So I used to be out on the street interacting with fans and seen tons of bands. So I've done autograph booths and met tons of bands that are way up there. So it's nice to be back supporting the music scene.
Very, very cool. Give us a good ILM nerd story.
Nerd story? Oh no!
Did you all get to have like lightsabers?
No, lots of people have nerdy Star Wars stuff at their desks. So it's kind of cool to see like little Star Wars creatures everywhere. That
Nobody ever inserted like a unicorn shot of a unicorn into over Yar Yar Binks or something like that. Yeah, there has to be like funny Yar Yar Binks like joke.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have a friend that works at Lucasfilm, and she literally has a Wookiee costume in her office.
Oh,
I'm so jealous.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You just wear that to meetings to unprovoke. Just show up in your Wookiee suit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, let's do this. While we have these guys, folks in the chat, let's talk a little bit about fulfillment. Let's talk about Topspin fulfillment. Let's talk about forum use and getting responses out of the forums. Let's talk about what we're doing with Get Satisfaction. Let me start there because I think I've been trying to plug the forums a lot in terms of we have a lot of good examples of good interaction there.
In the past, what we've had is Get Satisfaction, which is a great tool.
Mm-hmm.
People can get to us to give us feedback and suggestions about the platform, the site, about UI, about everything. They can talk to us about bugs and problems. But what the forums are here for is to provide an extra step on that. The forums are more interactive. Mm-hmm. There can be a longer thread. People have been using Get Satisfaction. They arrive, they have one question, it gets answered, they go away. Mm-hmm. On the forums, what's happening rather quickly, which I'm very happy about, is they come and have a question, and then our wonderful artists are already jumping in to help each other, and then we'll jump in to help out, and they'll end up with a long thread with 15 replies long instead of one reply.
Yeah, Chandler from Music Geek Services.
Chandler is on every day.
I know he's in the chat right there too.
And I just sent him have you got your free T-shirt yet? We just sent you one.
Okay, cool. Any questions in the chat from anybody watching? Questions about Topspin fulfillment? Questions about using the forums? There you go. Yes.
Is it the right size?
See how good our customer support team is? You can call in the web chat. You can find out if your T-shirt size is right.
Good deal. I mentioned that because I used to run merchandise for the Elven Bishop Band years ago, and we only had one size of T-shirt. And our motto of the company was, "Trust me, it'll fit."
Trust me, it'll fit?
Yeah, because the Elven Bishop fan base was all bikers and stuff. So the guys would be these huge, giant guys. They were all named Bear. And so all we had was extra large, and they'd go, "Dude, it's a little bit tight, man." And we'd say, it'll stretch out. It's designed to stretch out. And then their girlfriends were all like, 5'2" and skinny. And they'd go, "This is too large." I'd say, "Just wash it in hot water, it'll shrink." And they always bought it.
So every line was, "Trust me, it'll fit."
Exactly.
So that's for all the people in the chat who are trying to figure out what mix of sizes to buy merchandise their
Trust
shirts.
me, it'll fit.
Trust me, it'll fit. Look, there's a question pop up. Info on the WordPress plugin. Okay, cool. Sure, we can segue to that. Let me put it up for you. Actually, you can go to. Hang on a second. I'll show you how to get to the WordPress plugin. I'll give you a guided tour. You can go. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's do this. There's a couple of ways to get there, but the easiest is to just go to our website. Did you see the shark? Did you see the quick split second of shark that popped up there?
Yeah.
So look at So click up on our website, and then down here at the right here at the top actually, there's features. Here's the easiest path. So you click features, and then click stores on the next page. Click on stores. There's a little delay here before what you're seeing. And then here's a description of sort of how the Spin Shop store works, and then down here at the bottom there is integrated Topspin store with your existing website. And you can click there, and there's a whole link to all of the different integrated stores. So you'll actually see StageBlock, Verb, Bandzoogle, Ning, Drupal, WordPress, all sort of linked from this page. But the WordPress and Drupal plugins both have links to GitHub and their support pages there. Oh, and look, Chuck G blasted it right into the chat there for you too. Thanks, Chuck. That gets you access to these stores. Switching back to the forums for a second, I'll show you sort of an example of the threads where.
So there's also the question was, where do you find info on it? There's actually a thread, and if you go down to knowledge base greatest hits, which is a set of like super hyphenated FAQs for getting started. If you go down near the bottom, there's one about WordPress, I believe.
Mailing list, very cool. Yeah, there it is, right. No, wait.
Two up.
Right this one. What is the WordPress plugin and how do I get one? Cool.
And then there's a link at the very end, which is excellent documentation we've gotten from.
Oh yeah, this is all the stuff from Uprising, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then here is There's also the Topspin knowledge base for help with installs and that sort of thing. So
Well, I didn't want to rewrite that because the stuff that Uprising put out is so great.
it's killer.
There was absolute killer. There was no way to make it better, and I just want to leave it intact the way it was.
Cool, very cool. That's a good way to
part
put
of
it.
what our community does also is link you up to the knowledge base. There's information P2P from helpful people and helpful artists for each other, but also we link back. We'll give a synopsis of what the answer is, and then link you back to the knowledge base for more details.
Very cool. Yeah, there you go. You're right. That is what it was after. So this is a good time to let's do a quick plug for the knowledge base in general. Knowledge base is docs.topspin.net. You'll notice the umlaut is important. And then most of the customization stuff and install stuff that you're looking for in terms of API integrations or trying to build custom things against the app will be under this Dev Center tab. So click on this Dev Center tab, and then you can see Bill and his team have a gigantic long list of subjects.
And it's always growing. It's very organic, and we're writing new stuff every day. Carrie and I just got to have a meeting talking with our QA people and dev people about what in the knowledge base needs to be brought more up to date, that kind of stuff. So. And there's also one section in the forum where you can give us suggestions. And I will, if you give us a suggestion for a new article and I actually publish it, I'll send you a sticker.
Oh, a sticker.
Big time. And a guitar pick.
What about with shirts? Am I giving about shirts?
Sure.
I think you should
I'll send you anything.
I think you should send them shirts.
I'll send you a coffee cup, You can have whatever you want.
Okay, well,
just to go on a little bit farther
totally
on
do
that, the whole base of the community and the knowledge base, as much as you want to talk to Carrie because she's great, we want to keep you away from Carrie. We want to try and solve your problem as simply as possible. If you can get there and get the information from our FAQ, get to the community, someone will help you there, or if someone's already asked the same question and the answer is all there for you, to the knowledge base. If all else fails, come and talk to Carrie, and she'll pick you up.
Okay, cool. I think this was just speaking of you mentioned the meeting you were having a minute ago with the QA team about release notes and getting updates into the knowledge into the knowledge base. I mean, let me take a quick poll. Like everybody, 1 to 5, 5 being we're amazing at it and the best ever, and 0 being wow we suck. Into the chat right now, put a number in how good rank Topspin on how well we get you information about new features being released.
This is scary.
Like I would like to know, 42 people in the chat. Like how well do we do, 1 to 5, of getting you updates on new features? Ooh, 4.7. Are you nervous?
Very.
Oh yeah, 2 new. Okay, that's fair.
It's very fair.
Yeah,
fair and balanced.
I honestly don't. It's one of those things that it's easy to, while being on this side, not knowing exactly how well we're doing on that. You think you're doing a great job. You have the webcast. You have the knowledge base. The question is, should we be post? We try to do blog posts around stuff. I personally think we should be much better about new feature blog posts that explain new features and link into docs. But
we have a new blog post that I've actually been writing that should be ready by next week. It's going to be a weekly feature. It's going to be custom tips from the professionals for customer service. We're going to choose like 2 major issues every week on how the artists can provide their own customer service and do a good job.
Very cool.
It's going to be fun.
Very cool. All right.
But yeah, these are all pretty positive. Actually, I was nervous to hear that because I was afraid to see a 1 or something. But I want to know. Yeah, as you said, Bob, we sit back and we don't really know how it's being dealt with from the other side.
Yeah, definitely. Questions about feature updates, customer support, fulfillment, that sort of stuff? Are we updating via email? We do update via email, though we haven't done it as regularly as we could have. We to be honest with you, right now we're in a period of just trying to figure out how noisy we're going to be via email. All of our own sort of marketing data and experience working with artists and doing direct email marketing suggests that being as quiet as possible with email is and being only as useful as possible is the right approach. So what we'd like to do is definitely come up with a something that our users can opt into on the pro tips side of things, on the feature update side of things, and not overwhelm folks with email. I know a lot of services send tons of email to people, but
Gilbert has a nice point there.
What's that?
I'm too busy to check the forum unless I need something. What you can do is you can click on
tweet update's a good idea.
Subscribe to a forum. I try pretty much every time we have a new feature or something that's really major, I go to the announcements forum, which is the welcome forums, and I'll write up something about it.
Oh, well, let's show them how to do that real quick.
And if you subscribe to it, You don't have to worry about missing it. It'll show up with an email once a day to say.
Yeah, well, let's show them how to do that because I think it's true. Is if you get into a if you get into
I go there every day. This is my job, so I see everything's going on. But
yeah,
I understand this. Our forums is not the linchpin of your life.
right.
Yeah.
So let's show folks. If you click help, you're going to land on anywhere on Topspin. You're going to land on this page. You're going to click artist support, and then here's there's a big overview here of what of all the different ways to reach us, and to get help with your installs and your campaigns and update us on features. But what Bill's referring to is in the forum itself, in the community here. If you pick something, give me an example, Bill.
The green buttons up there, the announcements.
Announcements. There you go.
Click on that. You'll be able to subscribe to that.
Yeah. So you click on the green button in the forum, and then you can say, "Hey, notification. Daily updates via email or weekly updates via email."
Exactly. So that way, if we have a brand new feature next week we put out, I make a post announcing that new feature. You'll get an email saying there's been activity in this forum, the announcements, and it'll even tell the name of the thread. Then you can choose to click on that and go there.
Very cool.
Simple as that.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Let's switch back to all right.
You're very good at that.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Jason's really good at it. Jason has videos and all that sort of stuff. I just had some fish at the beginning of the show.
You put up the fish, of course you did.
Okay, so at that point, this sort of ends. It's 11:40. But you have
One
a question
thing
on this one?
Well, you should have a tweet update. We absolutely tweet. Follow Topspin Fulfillment. Follow me on Twitter, so I'm on there all the time. Follow Ian. Follow Bob. I mean, we definitely, when we have new features, anything new, we're all tweeting every day.
Yeah. So here, let me type. Here's the good ones to follow for Topspin. That's Bill. That's me. You'll get a lot of updates from me about my kids and food. This is the official company. That's Topspin Media. Ian is ENCR. Carrie, what's your Twitter now? You don't have one.
Oh my God!
Oh wow, we're gonna have to get you
we
one.
only got 500 million users.
We're gonna have to get you one. What are some other good ones here? Brad Barish. Everybody should follow Brad Barish.
Brad, great, yeah.
Brad's got good.
Follow Chandler too up there.
Yeah, Chandler. Put your Twitter handle in there, Chandler. So I think it's just Music Geek Services, but I don't want to spell it wrong. Please put it in there, Chandler. There you go. Chandler is a power user of the app and is really active in the forums. He and his brother have a management firm that's smart and cutting edge, and great artists on their roster, by the way. And I think that as much as everybody in this forum can connect to each other, and people who watch in the chat who are users of it can connect with each other. That's the right way to do it, because what we're going to provide to you are helps and tips and tricks. No, tips and tricks with using the application and helping you solve your problems. But what you're going to be able to provide each other are campaign strategies and ideas. We'll try to do some of that too, and we'll showcase some great campaigns on future shows. But what I really think is valuable is setting up a community where you guys can talk about, hey, what size, what kind of merch products are you building, and what sources are you using for creating the merch, and what kind of campaigns are you running? Like, how are you doing video premieres, and how are you doing album launches, and how are you doing streaming events for films, or what are you doing if you're marketing a fan club or a really creative membership service that gives people to subscribe to your artist and their output. So please, post all your Twitter handles and URLs into these chats, so people can see them and compare, and you guys can build a community that's outside of our work too. We definitely want that to happen, and think that you guys can share a lot of info that way. Okay, cool. So people are starting to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's quarter to noon. We have 15 more minutes of chat time. I have no more agenda items for this show. I can let you guys go back to work if you want. You can stay and hang out if you'd like.
I want to go back to work. I got a lot to do. You have no idea.
We'll let these guys go. But I think we should just start pestering. Put the questions in. Let's answer them. I'll go through them. Open season. You guys?
Like I said at the very beginning, my main responsibility is everything to do with fulfillment. So, and I'm always open. Just email me anytime, bthompson@Topspin Media,
There you go.
and I'm there for you.
Look at that. Bill Topspin, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let me answer these questions. Thank you, Bill.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Only sell in Brazil through Topspin on dollars. Brazilian clients would need an international Visa credit card or PayPal. So yeah, you could sell in Brazil in dollars or in pounds or euros, or I don't think it would make much sense to do that. I think to answer your question, yes, dollars. But yes, they could pay via PayPal to pay with local currency and local cards. Give me all the facts on the cards you'd like to take. We take all European major European bank cards, so we have solved this for Europe. They, customers and artists who want to sell things in euros and have people pay in euros with European cards can do that on Topspin. We take JCB, we take Swish. There's a couple other cards that we take. In addition to also accepting PayPal for global transactions. So, like I said, hit me in the forums with the Brazilian currency stuff, and we'll investigate it. All right. What other questions you guys have? Surely there's more questions about the app or features, or let's hear them. Post them in there, and we'll do them. Come on, none? Really? Got to be some in there. Maybe everybody's just furiously typing. Google Analytics integration. Okay, that's a good one. So Google Analytics integration. Let me show you the essentials of doing this. So let's log into the app. So inside of you're in your Topspin app. Go to I'm seeing to make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see this. So go to settings, and then go to artist profile, and then you'll see. So this is my account here. Inside of this, you'll see there's a bunch of options you can put in here, like your web presence information, your website, your Facebook page. You can authorize for Twitter, so you can use the Twitter client. But you'll see here in here, there's a Google Analytics profile ID form. So set up your Google Analytics for your site. Get this UA dash numerical code out of your GA admin section. So if you go, the way to get this is to go to log into Google Analytics and click the admin or settings page there, and you'll see this code appear. It should also appear on the top level of your reports section if you have more than one website under your Google Analytics account. Bring that code back, insert it into Topspin here, and save this page out. And then what Topspin will do once you have this saved is every time someone makes a purchase, the Topspin purchase flow will call your Google Analytics code and register that purchase and the dollar amount into your Google Analytics. So you also have to enable e-commerce. You have to say in your settings in Google Analytics, you'll have to say yes, this account is this site is an e-commerce site, and then you'll get in your lower right of your Google Analytics, you'll get the e-commerce reporting, and you'll see Topspin purchases registered there, and that'll give you the ability to look at your e-commerce percentage is in terms of conversion percentage of number of unique users to your site to number of unique purchases to your site on a daily basis. It's pretty slick integration, and we have some cool ideas about how to make that even more powerful in the next couple of months. Chandler, what are you asking? Do you guys want or need external beta testers as you develop or roll out stuff? It's a good question. It's a really good question. We haven't gotten to the point yet where we've ever given public access to features that haven't yet been shipped. We have the Topspin Labs. Actually, let me make sure everybody on here has Labs enabled. Let me go back to the app real quick because it's on the same page that we were on. You'll notice down here at the bottom of this page, again, we're on settings, account management, artist profile. Down here at the bottom, there's Topspin Labs, and this, if you check this, this will give you things like the E4M widget that falls back to that falls back, from Flash to HTML5 and that sort of stuff, that haven't been through rigorous QA, and that are things that we think are cool that we'd like to test and see if they work. So you all should definitely, if you've gone so far as to be watching the webcast and asking us questions, make sure you have labs enabled in your accounts. But to Chandler, to your specific question about whether or not we've had external beta testers, we haven't come up yet with a good program for that. For one reason, we haven't had anybody that we really thought was great and a real power user of the app that would test it on our schedule. We work a pretty relentless schedule in terms of releasing software every Monday, checking things in on Thursday and Friday. A lot of that would require sort of testing over the weekend. But if you're interested in wanting to do it, send me an email. I know you know how to get a hold of me. Send me an email and we'll talk about it. Then what we might do to start sort of roll into that gently would maybe to be create a users group of people that we really trusted, or a dev users group, and have those folks, take a look at things via Skype or screen share or log into our QA environments, depending on if we make sure things are secure or not. But it's definitely worth having a conversation about. I'd like to get to the point where we could do that. We just haven't gotten that far yet. Let me see. What other questions do we have here? Okay. Back to the Google Analytics. Does Google Analytics Topspin cross-reference access, time spent, etc. On the widgets and that sort of thing? Not yet, it doesn't. That was sort of what I was alluding to on future ideas about that tracking. We're more likely to focus on conversion tracking in the short term than we are on time spent on widgets and having the widgets show up in Google Analytics. We're more likely to actually, I'll be frank, we are going to be building and investing time and dev time into new features around how many people shared this widget and what happened, and how many dollars were driven by this email that I sent, and how many clicks were driven to my offer pages by this share by this user, trying to show you, your most valuable sharing users and show you the dollars driven by those activities. So we don't have anything in terms of time spent and that sort of stuff on the widgets with the Google Analytics yet, but making sort of the widgets give you better sharing data and conversion tracking is definitely on the second quarter radar. Let's see, what did it say, John Black? Are there any plans to create a Twitter option similar to the E4M option, or will a new C4M widget be available soon? So the Connect for Media widget is in the app now. It does have this option to tweet for media. It is built into the widget as we speak right now. My suggestion would be go check it out. I personally hate the UI of that widget. We're going to make it a lot better. But see if you can make it work for yourself the way it stands now, because it is possible, and that functionality is in the app. If you see that there's it's expanding my album art. What do you mean by expanding your album art? Again, give me a little more details there. Either way, test it. I see. Pushing beyond the pixel limit. Yeah. Please write it up in the forums. We're in the process of redesigning the way that widget looks and works. So if you can give us a quick write up of what's happening, right? You're seeing frames show up. Your album art's not sizing correctly. The widget's hard for you to adjust. Give us screenshots. If you're willing to be really clear and specific about it with us, we'll make sure that the widget that we ship in a couple of weeks here looks a lot better and doesn't have those problems. Okay, what other questions are in here? We've got a couple more minutes. Hi, Hannah. Oh yeah, good, nice one, Hannah. That's really good. So I definitely should have mentioned that. So Google Analytics URL Builder will definitely plus Topspin are definitely friends. So if you start using URL Builder to build your URLs that you send out in emails, you'll really get great tracking. Topspin will give you sort of opens and clicks, a number of clicks, per URL in your emails, and then URL Builder will give you a lot more information about those folks. That's something I didn't mention, but that I should have, which is a great catch, Hannah. I really appreciate that. So please, let's go over it sort of one more time to give a succinct explanation of the GA integration. But go to Settings, Artist Profile, scroll down here to Google Analytics Profile ID. Make sure you enter your code that starts with the UA and dashes into Topspin. Save this page out, and then when people make purchases and you sell things via Topspin will publish into Google Analytics your purchase information, and then using to Hannah's point there, using the Google URL builder will allow you to publish trackable URLs that Google will keep track of no matter where they end up. So use those, publish your URLs there, send those out via your emails or your tweets via Topspin, and watch conversion tracking on the other side in Google Analytics. It's a really smart and great point. Good tip. Okay, 5 minutes left. What other questions do we have? That's good stuff. Really good stuff. I guess I could switch back to the. I could switch back to the fish for one last. For the last 5 minutes. If you guys have anything else to discuss. Let's do this. Since we don't have any specific app questions, I'll be nerdy about it. Oh wait, here's Hannah one. Can we rearrange the offers in our spin store like the layout? What do you mean, Hannah? Do you mean like drag and drop, sort of like ordering the order of the offers inside of your tabs, or do you mean categories? Or give me a little more info. I'll try to help you out there. Because you can right now in the spin, if you've tagged your offers. So let's say you've got 10 buy buttons in there. If you tag those offers, you can create subcategories in the store for those offers. And that gives you the ability to say, okay, look, I've tagged these 5 offers as DVDs, these 5 offers as memberships, these 5 offers as apparel, and then in your store you'll have actual navigation tabs that are based on those tag groupings. Tickets that are out of chronological order. Interesting. And those were published. I'm assuming that you probably published those offers out of chronological order also, right? So just ordering them by most recent wouldn't solve your problem. They need to be sorted by date of the ticket, not by date of the publish of the offer. Is that correct? Is that a safe assumption? Yeah. Okay. Send me an email and I'll dig into it for you, because that actually might be. You might actually be bringing something up here that's a problem. Send me an email and I'll look into it. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, so now we have just 2 minutes left on the show. Good questions all. I'm going to use this time, and you guys can too, by putting the stuff in the chat. I'm going to put up a cool new thing from a band that I love that is actually not even the Topspin band, but I want to plug it anyway because I think it's awesome. And then you guys give me URLs of things that are new that have come out that you like. Let's talk about music for a couple seconds, because that is actually why we all do all this stuff. So I don't know if you guys are at the very beginning of the show I mentioned that I'm a post-punk nerd. I've been a Wire fan for basically as long as I've been a music fan. This new Wire record is awesome. I think that... oh yeah, there you go, Brad. It's a good point, Brad. So Brad just put in the chat. Let's get some links for Free Music Fridays. We do a blog post, every Friday coming right up that has links to free music and downloads and E4M widgets from Topspin artists. I wish we had one from Wire. This is one of my favorite bands. Brad can attest that I'm a total nerd about it. But this new album of theirs, right here, I'll show you this Red Bark Tree. Is really excellent and worth your time if you like angular British things. But if you guys have, to Brad's point in the chat there, if you guys have releases or E4Ms that are up in the wild right now where you're giving away a song in exchange for an email address, or you got a video or trailers up, and you've got bands that you're working with that you'd like to see get some promotional love on our blog. dump those URLs to those widgets in the chat right now, and let's see if Brad can insert some of those into this week's post. We're constantly always looking for content for that Free Music Fridays blog post, and I think we really honestly would like to have some kind of formal don't hold me to it because we'll have to create it here quickly, but I'd like to have some kind of process for people to submit their stuff so that we get a listing up and we promote our artists using our platform better on the blog and our own little promotional channels. Our promo power is not that great, compared to other folks, but we have a little bit, and we'd be silly not to use it to help artists using our platform. So please post them in there, and Brad will round them up. All right. Okay, so it's noon. That's supposed to be the end of the chat. I should switch back at this point to the fish, I guess, on the on YouTube. I won't. I'll just wrap it up here. But if anybody else has further questions, or you had something you didn't want to ask publicly, please here's my one last plug for the forums. Hit the forums. It's community.topspin.net. It's really simple. This will get you. This is what the homepage looks like. If you post something there and want to get a question about it, you can click on forum and click on these little green buttons, and that'll subscribe you to those threads. Oh, Brad says I should plug the demo. Okay, let me plug the demo. I can do that too. So there is, if you're working, especially if you're working with clients, or you've got someone that you're trying to convince to use Topspin, or you're reselling your services or your marketing services, and you want them to really understand what Topspin is, and you need help sort of pitching the platform to them. Come to topspinmedia.com. Scroll down on the bottom here on the right. See, Topspin connects you to your fans by creating tools that help you market, sell, and track your results across the web. Watch a demo. If you click the Watch a Demo, you'll end up with this page, which is just topspinmedia.com/demo. Brad's put it in the chat there for you. In this case, you can watch the most recent video demo. Brad's demos are incredible. He answers questions, gives examples, shows you some amazing campaigns by artists that use the platform. You can sign up to attend one of those live demos via WebEx. You can ask Brad questions in the WebEx. You can hear other people's questions. There's often a whole lot of music industry folks and smart managers and marketers in those demos asking very, very smart questions that might help you and expose you to new ideas. So I highly recommend them. Brad's got an amazing thing going there. But you can also then watch the recording of that demo on this page. Just click the YouTube player and watch the recording. Good tip, Brad. Thank you for the reminder to plug that. Oh, look at that. Free downloads from Wendy and Lisa, Brad. You can get that in there. Hi, Renata. Hope you're well. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm over time on the show. I'm going to shut it down. We'll see you here next week, back in LA, I believe. Ian and I will be doing the show together again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 11 a.m. Pacific. Justin.tv/Topspin Media. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you next week. Cheers.